Oh, that's a bit disturbing. Just bear with me a moment while I just straighten the job up. Feel a little bit seasick. Oh, that's better. I can't be doing with talking to the top of my head. It's just not right, is it? Now then, my lovelies, how are you today? I'm afraid, as you can see behind me, I haven't managed to produce any sunshine for you today. But we've always got sunshine here. Yes, the captain's docked, Jane. The captain's docked. Yes, we're all ready to rock and roll for a slightly abbreviated brew at 2 this afternoon, because if you remember, I told you last week that I was off to a virtual preview event, so that should be good. Nice bit of restoration work that's been going off in nearby Fleetwood. So you've missed the bell again. Do you want me to ring it for you, David? Are you ready? You ready? Ring the bell. That's for David, that one. Hi, Eric. Eric the mascot. We'll have to decide what kind of mascot Eric is. It could be a pirate, because he keeps talking. It could be Eric the pirate, couldn't he? Because he keeps talking to Jane Kelt about pirates and pirate talk, and I'll have to admit I struggle to follow it. Anyway, not forgetting, of course, that we are, all of us who are gathered here today, bats. Yes, we all bats. Bats being brew at 2 hours. So there you go. You see, you can only join this esteemed group if you are batty. So you'll all be in really good company. Brew at 2 is full of bats, all kinds of different types of bats. Actually, digressing just slightly, I follow a Facebook page on Facebook, funnily enough, and I think she's in Australia somewhere. I couldn't quite tell you where, but bearing in mind my geography goes haywire much beyond St Anne's. Could be anywhere, couldn't it? And this woman rescues now then, I think they're called flying foxes, big bats, not little ones like we get fluttering around here, which are quite amazing because you can't hardly catch them, but big bats that are like sort of, well, almost like a guinea pig with wings. Fruit bats, I think they're called, and she has these enclosures and things on. They're ever so cute. They're really pretty little things. I think they're lovely. Anyway, so just a reminder that if anybody is, John Hitchin's not with us this afternoon because poor John has got workmen in, so I think we'll all share John's pain, because I must admit I don't like having workmen in. A necessity and a necessary evil sometimes, but no. But just a reminder that if you are watching on catch up like John will be doing today, that I can only guarantee that it will be online for a week or 2, because we have this strange thing where when you upload videos, when you do this is what you get when you upload a normal video. So it takes it and your picture comes up and it all looks perfectly all right. But when you've done a live, for some bizarre reason, you get this sort of like ghosted upload, and it just sort of hangs about in the ether for weeks and weeks and weeks. So eventually I have to, oh goodness me, I didn't quite catch that, Sean. I have to delete them all eventually. I'm just trying to read Sean's comment that he's just put on, and it sort of flicked up. Oh, Sean's missed the 3 last brews due to 4 deaths in 24 hours. Oh dear me, Sean, I am sorry. Our sincere condolences from all of us. That's horrible. I mean, I know there's a lot of people dead this year, but that's a bit much, that, isn't it? It's nice to have you back. So put your feet up and sit back and enjoy the digression and sort of clear your mind for a minute. So next week is party week. I'll come on to that in a minute. But don't forget that if you've not already got your brew at 2 mug, your batty mug, we could have put bats on this really, couldn't we, thinking about it? If you've not got your Brew at 2 mug and you want one, you need to make sure that you've ordered one before next week, and I'll tell you why. I'll come on to that later. So these are available from our Visit Fylde Coast website, and the link is in the description below. So if you want one, you can get one ordered. But if you want one, you need your mug before next week, because there's a laugh on. There's a laugh on. Hi, John. And John's mum Nancy's watching as well. Oh, I've just had a notification come up on my thing that says Visit Fylde Coast is doing Brew at 2. Well, I've never watched that, have you? Is it any good? I was just going to read something out there, and it's gone and I've lost it just in 2 split seconds. So, shout out, apart from the fact, I know if I feel really bad carrying on waffling and talking tripe when Sean's family's gone through what he's gone through. But I'm sure you understand, Sean, that we all share your pain, and you can have half an hour off with us. So apart from a shout out for Sean, condolences for Sean, Laura, and I know she's watching because I've just seen it come up. Laura's watching, and she's stuck in hospital in Preston. So a shout out for Laura, because she's been looking forward to this today, and she might even be recruiting people on the ward in the hospital that she's in. I'm not very familiar. Did you say you were in the Royal Preston? I'm not very familiar with hospitals in Preston, and long may it stay that way, frankly. So we hope Laura feels better much quicker, and she's keeping them on the toes and keeping them all organised. So I was just saying to my poor long-suffering husband hiding behind the hidey hole in the corner, I think I've got vloggers block, which is not easy to say, I must say, and I'm all kind of stymied for what videos to make next, because I've got loads of ideas for different things to do when lockdown starts to unwind. And at the minute we're in a bit of a kind of a funny phase, aren't we? It's like that time of year when you don't know what to wear, because it's freezing when you go off on your travels in the morning, and then by dinner time it's cracking the flags and you're absolutely boiling. Silly season, as we call it. So I feel like I'm in a bit of a silly season, because I'm sort of stuck between the stuff that we've been doing and the stuff that's coming next. Oh, yes, Laura's brightening everybody's days up, and most people end up laughing at her. Well, that's a job well done, Laura. You can consider yourself a proper bat if you can make people laugh. So if you've got any ideas for anything that you'd like videoing tomorrow, just pop a comment or send me a message or a pigeon or something like that, and I shall do my best to assist, because I'm feeling a bit blocked, you know, a bit sort of blocked up. T-Boy, we have this conversation every week, don't we? T-Boy set off to make the tea at I think it was about 10 to 2, 5 to 2. So he's probably just en route via China now, coming back with the tea leaves. He's probably just been picking them in the field. That's why I brought my cup up, because I knew if I was waiting for him to put tea in the cup, then I would be waiting too long to show you the cup. There you go. So that's that then. So any ideas for baking a cake? You'll be lucky, Sean. It will be sad, as my grandma used to call it, was saddies when a cake goes down in the middle like that. So moving on, few comments that you've left on our YouTube videos this week, and a few of them made me titter. So when I see a particularly funny one, I usually print them out, and then I can share it with you when we get to an appropriate moment in the proceedings. So I'm not quite sure what Pikachu's name is, but it's, oh, is it Pictures? Pickatus says, it starts off really well. I enjoy your well-researched vlogs with a historical perspective of long forgotten times. Here he comes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Kevin.
Slow hand clap for T-Boy. Hello from Yarrow Valley Park this afternoon. Oh, Carol's booked an
What?
Carol's booked an air appointment. Oh, I'm jealous, Carol. It's not much of a view actually out of the roof. Yes, I really need some colour putting on here.
I need a haircut.
I've tried to do it myself, but I don't think my bleach was quite strong enough.
Your looks.
Yes, T-Boy needs a haircut. We all need a haircut. Yes, David says you're a slow coach. Actually, he's got his buzzer on today, so that he knows whether he's alive. He's got his cardiac thing on. Do you want to come and show him, T-Boy?
It's bleeping.
Is it bleeping? Oh, you're not dead then.
It's bleeping.
What is it? Is it a cardiac one?
No,
you need to come and stand a bit further around. That's it, then they can
Yeah.
see. So it's one of them 24-hour things that they give you at the hospital. So you can see his sticker here. It's all stuck up. Is it an ECG?
Cardiac something monitor.
It's a cardiac something or other. We're not quite sure what. And this is his heartbeat. This is it.
As long as the
flashing.
green light keeps flickering, you're all right.
I said to him earlier, if it stops, panic. So there you go. That's our excitement for today. He's got to take it back tomorrow, and apparently he's got a sheet of paper, and he's got to write down on it whenever he does something that exerts him. So if he's climbed a flight of stairs. Now, given the fact that we live upstairs and we've got another flight of stairs here to come up to the office, we said he'd better write on his thing that he lives upside down. And he's got another flight of stairs to go to his office, because the poor people in the cardiac unit in the vehicle will be saying, why is this man running up downstairs all day? Anyway, moving on. Back to what I was going to tell you. Oh, that's made my nose run laughing. Just a minute. There you go. Right, so Pickatus said, he started off really well. I'm assuming Pickatus might be a man, but could be a woman. I enjoy your well-researched vlogs with a historical perspective of long forgotten times. It then goes on to say you're like Mr. Ben and his adventures going back in time. Now, I loved Mr. Ben. If you're my age or any, well, a bit younger, a bit older, you'll remember Mr. Ben. He was the little one who used to go into the changing rooms with the bowler hat on, dressed as a shopkeeper. And he came out in fancy dress as whatever he wanted to be, like a pilot or a fireman or something like that. I loved Mr. Ben. So I'll take that as a compliment, Pickatus. So John, JMJ John, from Barnsley, says he's left a comment on the video about sea glass. Now, if you remember if you've seen the sea glass video, the one where I tipped the jar out, I found a piece of glass in the jar that was sort of that kind of size, and it was brown and sort of a few angles on it. And I held it up and said, I wonder what on earth this used to be. And John made the obvious point, which it had never even occurred to me, that it looked like a piece of glass from a gas or an electric fire. Now, can you remember them? When you used to have proper pieces of glass sort of sat on the front of what was essentially a fan heater. It was really, really naff. And then the other ones, of course, had the sort of stripy thermostat things on them, the elements, with the little metal cage around it, so that you didn't walk into it and set your brown nylon 90 on fire. We're going back a long time now. Anybody that's young that's watching. Yeah, so John made the obvious point. Oh, Graham's bought Mr. Ben series on Blu-ray. Don't understand Blu-ray. That's too. Oh, Senga's here. Hi, Senga. Yeah. So he said in the John. How old are you, John? John says in the 1980s, electric fires had a flame effect with a light, mirrors, and chunks of orange, red, amber, and yellow glass. I think we might be very early 80s, John. I think it's perhaps a little bit older than that. So, all this talk of sea glass inspired Jane Kelt. Oh, Specs 357 has got some. You can't talk about that. Fruitcake in a bowl and putting custard on it. Where's mine? Where's mine? Where's my fruitcake? I know, I am a fruitcake. So Jane Kelt has sent her seamlessly back to poems. John's 48. Oh well, you're pretty much my age then, aren't you? Not far off. Plus a bit. Seamlessly back to Jane and Sea Glass. She sent a poem in. So we're back onto poems now. So it's about sea glass. It's inspired us. She says, thank you for sharing your precious gems with us, along with your handsome glass containers. Your delightful collection ignited me to write a small poem, especially after seeing the cobalt blue nuggets. I immediately thought about Vicks Vapor Rub. Now, there's a smell. Always had it rubbed on your chest and your back, didn't you, when you were poorly, when you were little? Along with other glass medicine containers, such as milk of magnesia. Yep. Now, when, as a teenager, as a young teenager, I used to be a water baby and I love swimming. And I did all the life-saving things. In fact, I've got the badges in my drawer down here. In fact, I might even be able to put my hand straight on them. Oh no, not quite that organised, but they're in my drawer. And we used to use one of those dolls, you know, that she's got a head and a heart, and that's it. She's got no arms and legs and whatnot. And they have a name for it, don't they? That they teach you CPR on, the one that you can sort of welly the chest, and they used to bring Dettol in a little milk of magnesia bottle to wipe its face with when you were giving it CPR and actually blowing into its mouth. And I was convinced, because we didn't buy milk of magnesia at our house, and I was convinced that that's what milk of magnesia was. I think I must have been about 35 before I discovered that milk of magnesia is for indigestion. So there you go. So anyway, on to Jane's poem. I could digress for Britain, couldn't I? Digress for Britain. Are you ready? Are you sitting comfortably? We will read out Jane's poem, Colourful Origin of Sea Glass. Look, and she'd even illustrated it with bits of her own collection as well down the side of the paper. Beautifully handwritten as well, I might add. So, are you sitting comfortably? Junkyard. Oh, sorry, Jane. Start again. Junkyard tossed back to life, tipsy glass with hidden glow. Guinness stone found by a wife, scrapped by pirates of long ago. Medicine bottle gave cobalt blue, Vicks Vapor Rub surprisingly too. A chemical and mineral brew, nugget revealed sea guru. Moulded by surf, sifted by sand, rounded smooth by age in time. Frosted rarities picked by hand, rendezvous with beauty converted from grime. Isn't that nice? I think that's lovely that. We're getting quite a collection together, aren't we? We might manage that poetry book. You'll never know. You'll never know, dear. So, I have, you can hear me still rattling. This is party preparation, this. I'll show you that in a minute. So I've also got some odes from Christine. I'm not sure odes is quite the right word, but rhymes might be better. So are you ready? Are you ready? These are from Christine. Are you listening, Christine? Which way? Now this is a good one for me, this. Do you know your destination? Just make sure it's where you want to be. It's on the station notice board for everyone to see. Could it be the easy route, which most people choose to take, or the one that speeds up, goes up and down, but always needs to brake? Dependent on the route you choose, you'll know the person that you are. 'Cause some people, they just sail through life, while others, they'll go far. I think that's very good, that, Christine. Very good. And then she sent another one, which is me to a T. This is me all over. Are you ready? I think I'm exceptionally focused, although to be true, I'm not sure. 'Cause when I walked in through the window last night, I fell right through the pane to the floor. That's just the kind of thing that I'd do. That I'm getting warm now. It's been quite chilly this morning. It's supposed to be a nice weather forecast for tomorrow. My poor husband, I didn't put the heating on while dinner time, and my poor husband has done nothing but complain about being cold all morning. Done nothing but moan and grumble and complain. So I'll just have a sip out of my tea mug. Right, party preparation. I have to knock on because we're running out of time, because we're on a short one today. Yeah, I have, Aldo. We need to clock off at 2:30 because it's a virtual thing. So all I need to do is log off from one call and log on to another call. Specs, will you stop talking about custard? You're right putting me off. If there's one thing I like, it's custard. Oh, thinking of which, school puddings. Brown chocolate pudding and pink custard. Couldn't you just? It's that time of day, isn't it? Right, party preparation. Yes, going back to the mugs. And all the people that have... Oh, Mascots going to have... Eric the Viking's going to have oh, it weren't Eric the Viking. It was T-Boy we used to call Eric the Viking. He slipped out, that one. We had this long-running joke about T-Boy and being a Viking, because Derek sounds like Eric. So we always used to call him Eric the Viking. Yeah. So do you want to be a Viking or a pirate, Eric? You can be either. You can be one or the other. Yes, short and sweet. We've got 5 minutes left. If you want your cup, you need to get your cup by next week, because next week I've got a treat for you, for all your bats, and it involves stickers and stars. So in this little packet, I bet this packet is as old as I am. And I think this came from Grantham's, didn't it, in first place? In Blackpool. I vaguely remember buying them there.
The original one that used to be.
The old Granthams, if you're as old as I am. So I've got coloured stickers and coordinated coloured stars. So that is part of next week's party time. I went in my cupboard this morning looking for something. Grantham's was wonderful, Eric. It's shut now. They've gone online. They decided they were going to leave it closed when lockdown started. So there's a treat for all your bats. Everybody that's got a mug. We shall preserve you for perpetuity. Right. So 3 little very quick jokes and then we'll finish on smile. Are you ready? What do you call a pig with laryngitis? Disgruntled. Why do bees stay in their hives through winter? Swarm. A commander walks into a bar and orders everyone around. Sorry, I'll stop there. Yeah, lockdown's ending soon. They're off Elaine Smith's list of jokes. So I'm going to keep wheeling another one of them out every so often because they're funny in an unfunny kind of way. Right, are you ready? It's time for the encore. It's time for the conclusion, and then I can shoot off to this other thing. Smiling is infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then realised its worth. A single smile, just like mine, could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic, quick, and get the world infected. See you next week for party time. Bye for now.